Hey everyone, I'm SuperPikminGamer, and do you just ever want to play a game where you could watch grass grow or plant your own flowers? Well, Pikmin's not the game for that. Until now.
Now, let me tell you, the Pikmin games are not a calming experience. They're stressful pieces of shit. Pikmin 1 had a real strict 30-day time limit. Pikmin 2 was extremely hard and it didn't have any time limit at all, but the timer was on bull bears for them to come back to life. Now that made Pikmin 2 even more stressful than it has to be. Then there's Pikmin 3, probably the least stressful in the series. It's very easy, day limit not too strict, and rock Pikmin. The new Pikmin introduced in Pikmin 3 are the rock and wing Pikmin. Oh, the rock Pikmin. They will be the only Pikmin you will be farming because these guys are powerful. When you throw a rock Pikmin onto an enemy, it will do some serious damage, taking the enemy out in a breeze. Wing Pikmin can fly over water. That's cool, I guess. The purple and white Pikmin from the previous game are not in story mode, but in challenge mode. Purple Pikmin are really strong Pikmin that can carry heavy objects and stun creatures. Well, they used to. In Pikmin 3, the purple and white Pikmin got nerfed. White Pikmin deals less damage when eaten. Not a big difference there, but the big difference comes with the purple Pikmin. In Pikmin 2, they could kill enemies with little to no effort, but now they're just a pain to use. They're slow, and their chance of stunning enemies is so low in Pikmin 3, it's just not satisfying when you use them anymore. In Pikmin 2, they would stun enemies and latch onto them, but in Pikmin 3, they have the animation that looks like they're about to stun the enemy, but it doesn't. Also, they don't latch onto enemies anymore like they did in Pikmin 2, they just slide off. Purple Pikmin were the most powerful of all. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. White Pikmin act the same as they did in Pikmin 2, just less poison damage when eaten. And the red and yellow and blue Pikmin are still in the game. Don't worry, they will always be in every single Pikmin game. They're basically the mascots. Mission mode is the extra content for Pikmin 3. There's an option where you could choose to play by yourself or with a friend. There are 3 categories: collect treasures, battle enemies, and defeat bosses. Defeat bosses is pretty self-explanatory. You defeat the bosses you fought in story mode with a certain time limit and with a set amount of Pikmin. Collect treasure is where you collect enemies and treasure back to the ship so you can get money. The more money you get, the better the score. You are ranked on how well you did. If you get a bit of treasure, you get a bronze medal. Half of the treasure, silver, most, gold, all, platinum. And the extra seconds you have left on your timer is also added to your points. Battle enemies is the hardest one by far. You'll have to take out a ton of enemies within a time limit while trying to keep all your Pikmin alive. Enemies you kill can be harvested so they can become Pikmin sprouts. Sometimes mini bosses will appear like the body long legs.
No, you motherfucker! You bitch! You stupid fucking bitch!
Killing all the enemies will also reward you with a medal. Pikmin 3 has DLC stages that were ported onto the Pikmin 3 Deluxe. And the stages are really fun too. Sometimes you're collecting shit, then the other time you're saving Louie. Olimar and Louie also make an appearance in Pikmin 3. Sometimes stages require you to save Louie, so you are more efficient and get a better score. Some stages are remixes of areas you're already been at, like the Twilight River in story mode or the Tropical Forest in mission mode. Bingo Battle, the most intense 2-player mode Nintendo has ever made. You go up against someone in a 1v1 and whoever can get a row on their bingo card before the other player, they win. It's even funner when you're playing by yourself. Bingo Battle makes you collect a bunch of shit, like apples, oranges, dead dogs, you name it. The best collectible in Bingo Battle are the cherries. There is a normal cherry that gives you a spin on the roulette wheel at the top, and it'll give you a random item, like 5 extra Pikmin, or summon a meteor shower over your opponent to kill them. Now, the other type of cherry is a gold cherry. The gold cherry spins the roulette 5 times and gives you 5 items. It's pretty insane with 5 items. There's also 12 maps in total. Some are good, some are bad. You can even customize how you play bingo battle each round. You can turn on victory macaroon. It's basically capture the flag with Pikmin. Or you can play with 2 captains. Or even with 50 Pikmin at a time. What I do is give my opponent 1 Pikmin and I give myself 50. Pretty fair, right? You reunite with Brittany and find the yellow Pikmin. You continue exploring until you reach the next boss, which is a fat fucking bat. Kill a bat and then Charlie joins your crew. Next, you go to the tropical wilds and find a weird worm playing. Kill it and you get access to the Twilight River. You find wing Pikmin there. And, whoa, is that a call from God himself? You follow where he is and then you kill the annoying mosquitoes that are blocking him. Next, you go to the Formidable Oak, which is the final area. You find Olimar unconscious next to a walking ball of piss. You take Olimar through the area, but the fucking piss ball is chasing you and extremely stressful. Creepy music in the background while it's slowly chasing you with enemies in your way. No chance of escape until you reach the end. When you kill an enemy in that area, it just dissolves, turns into goo, it just dies, it's just creepy, man. What's making it all alive? Ball of piss sucks up Olimar and becomes a giant piss ball. Just throw rock Pikmin at it, you'll win. You just take the fruit home, and then you take Olimar and Louie too. While the Copites were getting food, Olimar and Louie are repaying a debt. Again. The president must be so fucking stupid to get in debt again after collecting mounds of treasure in Pikmin 2. The prologue is where Olimar and Louie collect treasure to repay the debt. It has some nice music though. Each day in the prologue will show a short cutscene that shows Olimar and Louie surviving on the planet. Olimar is talking to the camera, and Louie's being the stupid bitch. On the last day, Olimar says he sees a golden thing on top of a tree, so he's gonna go investigate. Then the screen goes to black and the text appears says, "That was the last time Olimar was heard of." Pretty scary shit. The epilogue is even better. You are once again Olimar and Louie, but you have been sent back onto Piano 404 because you forgot the ship. So the president doesn't want to see you until you get the ship back. The epilogue is like a Pikmin 1-2, if you get what I mean. You have to collect as many Pikmin as you can on some days and kill enemies on the other. But that's not it. You collect actual ship parts. Your ship pod is on the other side of the map, and you have to clear a path for Olimar and Louie. Olimar and Louie get separated at one point and have to do some puzzles to get back to each other. The final day is the coolest day of them all. A final trial remix from Pikmin 1 is playing in the background, and you are giving a red, yellow, and blue Pikmin and rock Pikmin at the start. Then you go to a location with a bunch of enemies, you kill them all, and one of them drops a ship part. Then you enter a boss arena with a giant beady long legs. Yes, beady long legs, not baldy long legs. And then like golden hairy long legs with like giant feet and stuff appears as well. While fighting them, a remix of Pikmin 1's main theme, or just Pikmin's main theme, starts playing, and it's perfect. Once you collect all the treasure, you are greeted with an ending cutscene. Olimar and Louie get into their new repaired ship and blast off. The Pikmin look at the ship as it's blasting off. The Pikmin start singing, and Olimar and Louie go back to Hokitate. Olimar also makes sure that he didn't leave Louie behind, because he doesn't want another post-game Pikmin 2 to happen now. And now don't we? Now all we need is Pikmin 4 and a remaster of the first 2 games. Pikmin 3 has so much side content. There are badges. You get them when doing certain things. These badges have, well, badges for everything in the game. I mean, everything. Badges for starting the game, badges for blowing up enemies, badges for getting a bingo and bingo battle. There are also some hard badges like find all the Muras to beat them, or beat the main story on the hardest difficulty. Talking about the hardest difficulties, let's go into difficulties. There are 3 difficulties to choose from: normal, hard, and ultra spicy mode. Normal and hard are quite easy. Well, for me that is. Ultra spicy mode is tough. You can only have 60 Pikmin on the field. Nectar is very scarce. Pikmin die quicker, short day limit. Enemies have more health, more enemies, and so on and so on. While playing through story mode, you'll unlock the Piklopedia, which is an encyclopedia on every enemy you've encountered. For the enemies to be registered into the Piklopedia, you need to kill them with Pikmin. Reading all of the captain's note is a lot of fun, especially Louise. He talks about how to cook the creature, and it's always a joy to read. Pikmin 3 is a must-get if you have a Switch. This may be the greatest Pikmin of all time. Aside from Pikmin 2 will always be superior.
I need some water. There it is. Yeah. What is that? What the hell is this?